good evening, everybody. Welcome to round number 6 of the North American Grand Prix Open Wheel Championship here on Monday nights in the Ferrari F312s, coming to you live tonight from Zandvoort in the Netherlands. And it's going to be a great race here tonight. Very tricky track here for these guys. A lot of twists and turns and a very technical circuit. Before we get into any of the gritty details here, let's welcome my broadcast partner here tonight, Brad Maris. Welcome.
Al, I am the gritty detail. Come on now. Hey, it's been a couple long weeks. I'm happy to be back. I don't know about you, but I think the field is happy to be back too, because we have a pretty robust grid of pilots here tonight, looking to take on this very difficult Zandvoort track. I tell you, a lot of the drivers are saying that the car gets along pretty well at the track, and I have to agree. In the recon laps I got, thing felt pretty good around here. Pretty good match. So I think we're in for a pretty good contest tonight.
Yeah, we're all happy to be back. Hopefully everybody had a safe and Merry Christmas and good New Year's. And it's just good to be back on track here racing and into the final stretch here. Final 7 races of the season. We call this one before we put season 30 in the books here. But this circuit here, this track, very tricky layout here, Brad. Circuit's been around a long time. It doesn't mean it's gotten any easier here. 13 corners, and especially that middle sector there, turns 6 through 9, and entering the bus stop.
Yeah, that's right. I think, unlike a lot of as we just slipped into qualifying here, I think unlike a lot of the tracks that we've run this season, that we've had some of these vintage tracks, very high-speed tracks, kind of, downforcey tracks. Of course, that's not what these cars are really great at, right? However, this circuit, a little slower corner speeds. These guys are able to slide the cars around a little bit more, able to do a little bit more driving. It's a driver's track, right? And I think they're able to get a little bit more feeling out of the car, a little more grip, and hopefully a little tighter racing. I think we've got a real good shot to see that tonight.
Yeah, like you said, we're going to see a lot of these guys slide the rear of these cars around a lot of these corners here as we jump on board with Ronnie here. Ronnie Nunez looks like he's going to be the first to act, carrying a tremendous amount of weight, the most we've seen so far this season, 50 kilograms of success ballast here for tonight's race. And Ronnie probably a bit surprised to finish second a couple weeks ago at Spa. His teammate had great pace, but got mixed up in some trouble there. Louis Nieto, who is not here tonight, Kevin Kirkbride filling in, but no doubt Ronnie happy to finish there in second place, as a lot of guys had some troubles finishing that race last week. We'll touch on that a little later, but I'm jumping on board here with Ronnie now as he heads into turn 1.
Yeah, very long kind of apex turn 1 here. It's almost a double apexer, really. You can take it deep and take just a single apex, but it's all about getting the power down through that turn 1, and really it's all about kind of entering into that turn 2 there, and then coming around this very slow left-hander here. Very easy to get the braking wrong there, Al, as you know. So particularly in these cars, braking going to be an issue going into that corner. But then it's just a long blast through this kind of left-right sweepers here. These guys may have to take a bit of a lift coming up that straight. And then around this long right-hander, you're going to have to get this car set up. You got to kind of drive a little bit ahead of yourself into that corner. And same with this right-hander here and the next right-hander coming up. You have to make sure you don't take it too deep, because there's no way to recover the front end if you do. So you're going to be sliding off and losing just hunks and hunks of time. So another corner you have to set up for. Make sure you want to take it a tiny bit late. I think that's about perfect for Ronnie. Boy, he's sure going to struggle here tonight with those 50 kilograms. But coming up quickly now to a very difficult chicane. Slow speed chicane, no doubt. First gear for all these drivers, and another tricky apex here. It's a very elongated apex, so you have to pick a spot to accelerate from. You can't just accelerate early at that one. Got to hold off for a second. Then just a couple right-hand turns to finish off the lap, and none more so critical than this last corner here, where you really got to set up right to make sure that you can get on the power as early as possible. Pretty nice lap there for Ronnie, despite those 50 kilos.
So Ronnie, for a second there, had provisional pole. Chris Moses jumps into first with the 35.7, so that's his personal best lap, I believe. So Moses was looking pretty strong here, carrying 5 kilograms of ballast. Fortunate result for Chris last week, getting knocked out of that race in the opening laps. He wasn't through the contact, but some hairy moment for him, so he was forced to retire as Moses is actually up in the first sector here. So let's hang on here with him and see if he's able to improve on this second go-around here around this lap, around this track. Ooh, and he takes it off, so pushing a little too hard here. Parsons slotting into second. Parsons with a 36.7. At the practice times, Moses was the only guy in the 35s here leading up to tonight.
Yeah, that time was certainly set on a qualifying type run, low fuel and all that. Yeah, that 35.5 was actually posted just in our official practice session before we kicked things off here. However, quick note, watching Moses drive around in that session, he was up quite a bit, coming through the last sector on one of his runs and pulled it into the pits. So maybe disguising a little bit of that ultimate pace, he might be able to do better than even a 35.5 out.
So Parsons coming around the final corner here to the line, and he improves personal best for him, but not good enough. 8/10 off. Ronnie Nunez comes across the line. He is not going to improve. John Houston, now we see him currently in fourth. Houston finishing in sixth a couple weeks ago at Spa, as now Matt Taylor jumps into second with a 36.3, 5/10, a little over 5/10 off of Chris Moses' time. This is going to be a big night for PMR. They're behind in the team championship. It's been a while since we said that, but Ronnie Nunez and Luis Nieto are currently leading in the team championship. So it'll be a big night for those two if they can have a solid top 5 finish between the two of them. Kevin Kirkbride, who is filling in tonight for Luis Nieto, currently in 7th.
Well, and that's a pretty good spot. Kevin Kirkbride in that official practice session. Not looking so close to some of the best times that we've seen, but here looking pretty sharp in qualifying. So maybe he just didn't turn some of his best laps in that practice period.
So Kevin is carrying Lewis's weight here for tonight. So he is carrying 20 kilograms of ballast.
Yeah, now has Kevin made a start here in the 312T? I can't remember that he has, but maybe I'm just forgetting.
I believe he did a couple races ago. So not a debut for him. However, it is a debut for Mark DeGraaf, currently in 8th, and he is carrying 20 kilograms of ballast for tonight. But nice to see Mark jumping in here. He's a regular on Thursday nights, but throwing his hat in the ring here on Mondays, I believe, for the rest of the season. So makes a little mistake there at the chicane. But Mark is a great finish last week at the qualifying race at Spa. He's shown some really good pace on Thursday, so it'll be interesting to see how he does here on Monday nights. Kevin Miller currently in 9th, good enough, 4/10 off here in sector 1. He's got a little bit of traffic he's trying to deal with here, so not going to be his best lap, so he's probably have to take another shot at that. Lost a bunch of time in the second sector. His teammate Brian Story currently in 10th. Haynes, Moses, Taylor, Nunez, your top 3. So Corey's jumped up to 6th. Moffat on an out lap, currently in 11th. Hit that 12th.
Yeah, as you do that rundown order, jump in real quick, Al. K-Rod chimed in there on the chat saying actually that he thought some of the track was drowning out the voice audio a little bit, just FYI.
Alright, I'll see what I can do about that. Chuck Carter currently in 14th in the pits. Ken Baldwin out on track, running in 15th. Jack Ivey back here in 16th. Jack Ivey was looking pretty decent at Spa. The last couple weeks ago, I had an unfortunate DNF for him. Brian Jones in the pits in 17th. Sam Rolfe, great finish for him last week, finishing 8th, just ahead of his teammate in 9th. So those two are having a great season thus far, as Chris Moses now improves on his personal best, 35.3. Looks like that's going to be the time to beat here, Brad, as Moses really laying it down here tonight.
I think you're right. I mean, I have no other comment than that, unless Jolicoeur comes up with something weird, or Parsons or somebody. I mean, I think that could be it.
Zach Hefner, his second run here on Monday nights, raced moved back in Barcelona. Jumping in tonight, Tom Trasko back at 22nd. Lou Mascarelli in the pits. Jake Feimster is serving a road wall here for tonight, and Gus Douglas in the pit lane. So just under 15 minutes to go in this session. It's Chris Moses leading here this session by nearly a second up on his teammate. Jumping on board with his teammate now, Taylor. He was even there in the first sector.
Yeah, giving up. We can see now giving up a little bit in that second sector, which makes sense. That second sector very critical around here, and the third one as well. First sector probably not as important at this track as the other two. But I think PMR may have gotten something a little figured out here. And you mentioned at the top there about PMR and having that lead, team classification lead, snatched from them last week. And yeah, they need a good result.
So Taylor does improve 36-1. As Jolicoeur now jumps up to third. Bumping Nunez back a spot, so Jolicoeur just over a second off Chris Moses' provisional pole time. Looks like the guys with the weight, aside from Taylor, the rest of the guys struggling here. You know, Nunez, he's carrying a bunch of weight. He's back at 5th. Parsons now jumping up to 4th.
Yeah, I think if you're Nunez, actually, you're pretty happy. If you can hang around the top 5, you're not going to be too displeased, because that 50 kilograms is a boatload of weight. And I tell you, unlike what we saw last season in the Formula Lotus, that weight can have a bit more of an effect on this Ferrari 312.
Houston backs out of it. Right on a flyer here, 2/10 off in the first sector.
Well, maybe a bit bittersweet if you're Chris Moses. I mean, after all, he did go out of that race early last week, but lost a lot of weight as a result. So carrying only, I think, what, that 5 kilograms, and as a result, looking very strong here at this track.
Turn 9, Kerper, I just went through very tricky here. Is now into the Audi chicane. A little bit of traffic up ahead of him, but an issue.
Oh, he has a chance to improve here with that fine second sector.
Yep. See if he's able to hold the throttle here. No.
It's so tough. You have to get the car just right.
He does improve. Jumps up to 5th, knocking Nunez now down to 6th. So his teammate for the night behind him, what position?
Yeah, good result for Kirkbride thus far, with about 11.5 to play.
Keep watching Marty as Joe LaCour takes it off, but Marty continues to improve his lap times. He's now up to 7th. Houston here struggling mightily. He's back at 8th. And, he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Well, it's only been until recently where we mentioned John Houston quite often as not being the best, strongest qualifier in the world. He has gotten a lot better, but maybe slipping back a little bit into what we saw a couple seasons ago.
Houston on a flyer now. It's going to be an interesting first few laps here through this first sector, Brad. Really tricky going 2 by 2, 2 wide through some of these corners. It can be done, but it takes a lot of precision.
Well, we saw some side-by-sides not work out so well last week. The good news here is that the corners are slower, okay? So, yeah, not a lot of grip on offer at the best of times, and particularly not on the first couple laps, but the corners are slower, and the guys are going to be hypersensitive. They know the kind of dangers that lay around each corner there, especially in the opening laps in these 312. So, I'm optimistic, Al.
Yeah, so Houston really struggling there in the first sector. And the second.
Well, this team, after taking that championship a couple seasons ago, have been denied the last couple here, there by that PMR and the others. So they also have a bit of work to do. 3rd in that team classification and slipping a little bit. So speaking of guys that need good results, John Houston and teammate Aaron Parsons, definitely a duo that want a good result tonight.
And Houston pulls it into the pit lane. So the top 3 currently in the pits. Joe LaCour has just started a flyer here as Nunez now jumps up to 3rd. That is unbelievable with the amount of weight he's carrying. On board now with Joe LaCour, who is, like me, under the weather. And is battling through illness to run in this race after posting that he was going to sit out of this one and then getting, let's say,
got a little guilted into the
bit of ribbing
into the seat.
Boys. And he's out here. He's buried a bottle of NyQuil and God knows what else to finish this one.
Well, once you get out on track, you know how it is. Once the green flies, and a lot of those illnesses can be forgotten. So hopefully that's the case. But yeah, very good lap. Now a good lap for him, but yet still 1.3 seconds off of Moses, who has reset his best lap there at a 35 flat, looking so strong.
Yep. Joe LaCour once again improves, but wow, equals Matt Taylor's time of a 136.129. Wow, I can't believe I've seen that here yet.
Yeah, dead level even as far as we can tell on our broadcast app, but a good half-second off in the first sector, and that's really where he gave up time. And I know that there is a little bit of time in that first sector there for Joe LaCour.
Miller back, and I gotta wonder if never. Ooh, Miller and not sure who that is get tangled up. I believe that's Jack Ivey in that qualifying lap there. But looking down the order here, just over 7 minutes to go before this one's done. Taylor on a flyer. He is off the pace here in the first sector. I gotta wonder, I never understood in GTR2 how the guys see good times, how it was classified. But got Taylor still slotted up in second.
Yeah, the GTR2 P tracker app actually had the expanded times you could see, and it would count down to, you know, the thousandths or 10,000ths or whatever it was, and so you could actually see them. Don't know that's the case in a set of courses, but suspect there's a similar timing marker going on. Yeah.
So Taylor off here in the second sector. Yeah, at this point for Moses, he can go on his race setup, do a couple laps here and not have to worry about it.
Oh, he sounded so optimistic. I mean, he was really up. He was just from the moment he started his practice laps, which I think were just last night, by the way. I don't think he's got much practice besides that. He was really happy with the way the car was feeling around the track, and yeah, he's proven it. It's tough to get a second on this field around here in NAGP these days, so that's an accomplishment. But not done yet, Al.
Well, Mike Monahan back out here on track. Tough break for Mikey last week. He at Spa, he was really looking strong at that track and got caught up in some contact with his teammate right out of the gate, and pretty much nailed the coffee for him for that last week. But looking to recover here as Monahan is back in 12th. Kevin Lemansky is in 10th. He missed the last race, so he's back here tonight. Greg Myers in 10th. Wathan back there in 12th. Let's see something here. So after last week, big hit in the there we go. Yeah, big hit in the competition index. Because right now it's only one driver after 5 rounds with all laps completed. That is Ronnie Nunez. So Wathan, last season's competition index winner. Back in Wathan as he's in the pits. He's actually he's currently in 4th. He's 2 laps down. So he actually has a shot at this. It's not over yet, so I'm not looking to repeat as a competition index winner, but we'll see what happens there. It'll take some bad luck for Ronnie for him to have a shot at this. But back out front here, Chris Moses on an out lap. Got the field covered here so far in this qualifying session by over a second. One second quicker than his teammate Matt Taylor. Delacour in 3rd. Nunez looks like he's on an out lap. Parsons surprisingly here, struggling a bit in 5th.
Yep, look, it's 10 kilograms for Aaron Parsons. It's 50 for Ronnie Nunez, who sits ahead of him provisionally on the pole at the moment. So, and teammate Aaron Parsons, John Houston back there at 8th. So both those guys struggling mightily. I think really what we're seeing here is PMR, Chris Moses, and Matt Taylor really have got something figured out. I think that they have a wrinkle in that setup, which is allowing them to get around this track a little bit better than the competition. Let's not forget that Matt Taylor probably would be a little further advanced on his time, except that he's carrying a little bit of extra weight for that win last week. 2 weeks ago.
So no improvement for Parsons. Bunch of the field in the pits. Marty on an out lap. Kevin Miller starting a flyer here. I always felt like there's a couple corners here. That turn 1, entry into turn 1. turn 3, and this one coming up here, turn 6. You can really pick up a lot of time, especially if you're really tight on the inside curve. Now, I don't know how much you can get away with it in this car, but it just...
Yeah, you can't get away with hardly any curbing whatsoever in this car. But no, you're absolutely right about all those turns, and then of course the last one. I mean, you can basically hold serve on the last one, or you can miss it and just completely get hosed. So.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just a matter of the way Moses is driving the track. Not so much setup, it's just his lines around here that's allowing him to go around, get through here quicker than the rest of the guys that haven't maybe figured it out. But who knows? Whatever the case is, he's definitely got to figure it out. 35 seconds here to go in this session. Kevin Miller improves on his personal time, but remains in ninth. Taylor on a flyer. He looking to improve on his time, but that first sector is not going to get it done. If he wants a shot at pole here. 6/10 off in the first sector for Taylor. Joe LaCour the same. Joe LaCour and Taylor really running. They're running identical times here in qualifying. Both of them 6/10 off and 9/10 off after sector 2. See what Taylor does here in the final sector.
Yeah, and as we watch him, of course, you know, I mentioned that the first sector is not generally where you're going to give as much up, but those two guys are proving me wrong. That is where they're giving up their time to Chris Moses.
Taylor bails. He pulls it into the pits. Parsons here now. Checkers are out. Parsons on a flyer.
He needs a lap right here.
Good first sector for Parsons. Relatively speaking.
Yeah. Okay, well, held it together somewhat. Got a chance to improve. Desperately wants to try to get into that third spot. He's got a shot for it right here.
Yep. This could be second place for Parsons.
Boy, a lot of cars out there, tight track. You want to get every single spot you possibly can. This qualifying section is very important.
Oh, this is going to put Parsons home to second. So,
wow,
cuts that deficit to under a second. So, the only other guy in the 35s, he finally gets in there. 35.8 for Parsons. And the last guy on track. So, oh no, I think, there we go. Okay, we have now moved, the qualifying is over. So, there you have it. Chris Moses with a outstanding qualifying time here. 35 flat. Just to compare track record here in the open wheel series on Monday nights, the past since season 27 when we started here in AC on Mondays. Matt Taylor's got the record with a 34-1, and that's in a semi-modern Formula Master car, so not too shabby there for Moses. Nice lap in that vintage, in this vintage Ferrari 312. Aaron Parsons, you just saw that, clocking in with a 35.8 right at the end of the session, and Taylor in third. So Matt Taylor, last week's last race winner at Spa 66, he took pole and got some pressure from Ronnie there near the end, but managed to hold on and take a big win, his first win of the season there at Spa. So good showing here for Taylor, following that up with the third place qualifying effort here tonight. So it's going to be a big night for PMR if they can keep it together here. And well, we got to go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to just back you up and say it was a great opening salvo here if you're PMR. So, but I got to say I'm pretty impressed with Kevin Kirkbride in that fill-in role for our championship leaders there of Ronnie Nunez and Luis Nieto. So 5th and 6th on the grid, not too bad for those guys with the weight that they're carrying also. And nice to see that T-Brock Dam Bam squad of Aaron Parsons move up a few spots, so they might be able to forward their challenge here tonight as well.
So I just noticed in the chat, Mark DeGraw with a, he's got his cheering section here in the chat. They're all watching him live here, so we'll see how he will add a little extra coverage there for Mark. See how he does. But let's take a look at the standings here for tonight's so far this season. After 5 rounds, it's Ronnie Nunez in the lead of the championship with 98 points. He's qualified 5th here tonight with 50 kilograms of ballast. So a nice run for Ronnie. Matt Taylor in 2nd with 85 points. Aaron Parsons 3rd with 75. Chris Moses in 4th now with 74 points. And Luis Nieto, who is not here tonight. Kevin Kirkbride filling in with 61 points. In the team championship, Monty Python Racing with 169. That's Nunez and Nieto. Precision Motor Racing with 159. That's Chris Moses and Matt Taylor. In 3rd, T-Brock Dam Bam with 115. John Houston and Aaron Parsons. In 4th, it's the Taxi Service. Sam Rolfe and Greg Myers. Very impressive season for those guys. And in 5th, another impressive season here for Team Blue Gloves. That's Kevin Miller and Brian Story. It's nice seeing new names up there in the championship standings, Brad.
Yeah, you know, and looking over some of those standings before some of our prep work for the race, I saw Taxi Service down there too. And let me tell you something, Al. I can't help but pull for you guys. And I was thinking about it even a little bit more and thinking, you know what, if there is a race where these guys could actually pick up some points, this is as good a track as any. I mean, Greg Myers, you know that he's not going to put it off track or likely to run into trouble. Sam Rolfe, same thing. Now, Sam starts pretty far back down the grid, but look, this is the type of track where anything can happen. And literally, we could have a wreck. Moses and Parsons could come together and wreck half the field in turn 1. We're not hoping it happens. It's a remote possibility, but you never know. These guys could end up finishing, having great finishes. So, you know, if you're Taxi Service and you're thinking, well, maybe we can make some noise, this is a great track to think you got a shot to do it.
Well, it certainly is a difficult first sector here at the start of these races at Zandvoort. So let's hope these guys can put it together here and have a clean couple opening laps here and minimize the damage here. But let's run through the got a minute and a half to go here before we go green. Let's run down the starting order for tonight's race. It's going to be Chris Moses starting from pole here tonight, followed by Aaron Parsons in 2nd. Matt Taylor's going to start 3rd. Ian Jolicoeur in 4th, and Ronnie Nunez is going to start 5th.
Yeah, Kevin Kirkbride in that fill-in rolls takes 6th. John Houston starts 7th. Marty Wren puts in a time for 8th. Kevin Miller starts 9th. Gregory Myers takes 10th.
Mike Monahan from 11th. Nice run for him. Brian Jones going to start 12th. Kevin Lemansky 13th. John Watson 14th. And Mark DeGraw making his debut here tonight on Monday. He's going to start 15th.
Brian Story takes 16th. Sam Rolfe is in 17th. Zach Hefner's in 18th. Jack Ivey takes 19th. Chuck Carter in 20th.
Ken Baldwin in 21st. 22nd is going to be Tom Traskell. Mascarelli in 23rd. Gup Douglas 24th rather. And Jake Feinster is going to start in 25th, serving a penalty here tonight. He also has to serve a drive-through here in the first 3 laps. So he had a tough race last week. We all have them, but sure he'll bounce back and settle in there. As the lights are about to go green here, Brad, as we start round 6 here from Zandvoort.
I can't wait.
Green flag, nice start here from Chris Moses. Going to lead the field into turn 1. We got one car off. I think that was Traskell. Moses side by side with Parsons. Heading into turn 3. Ooh, Parsons runs way wide. Gonna give Ronnie an opportunity here to take over second position. Ronnie gets the pass made. Wow. What a great start from Ronnie, coming from, I believe it was it fifth?
Yeah.
All the way up to second. Taylor and Jolicoeur get shuffled back.
Well, this is a problem for these guys. I know we got a lot of action going on, but Nunez with that 50 kilograms of weight, he is really going to shake up the leader at the top of this order. Could allow Moses to escape as well.
Houston with a nice start. Up to 8. Field making their way now into the chicane. Sam Rolfe might have gotten into some trouble there, so it's going to be Moses leading the field here after the first lap.
Well, bad news to report for our Mark DeGraw fans now. It was a bit of a rough first lap, but he's still in the fight.
Yeah, he looks like he's got some significant damage to that. Number 28. Gonna bring it into the pit lane and get serviced here. So meanwhile, Chris Moses starting to check out here already. It's a lap and a half through, and he has got a 1.7 second lead over Nunez in second. Parsons, however, trying to take advantage here of the weight that Nunez is carrying. He's got to find a way past Nunez quickly.
Well, I think that he will. I think all these guys will. If you're Ronnie Nunez right now, if you get past, you just have to try to take your lumps here, not fight too hard if you can as your championship leader. You give up a few spots if you have to with the weight on board, but you're absolutely right. For these guys behind, there could be a train forming up behind Ronnie Nunez, so some close moments upcoming for this crowd, I think.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I mean, you can already start to see it happening here. Jolicoeur and Taylor had a look on Jolicoeur a couple of corners back, and Jolicoeur hung on to that position. Meanwhile, John Houston running an 8th, Kirkbride in 7th. Kevin Miller with an outstanding start, up to 6th.
Yep.
Moses quickly setting fast lap of the race. 37-1, sorry.
Yeah, as you were checking that out, I was looking at a pass by Matt Taylor put onto Ian Jolicoeur. Matt Taylor up into 4th.
Sorry we missed that. Look at Kevin Miller starting to distance himself from Kevin Kirkbride and close the gap up a little bit to Jolicoeur up ahead. 35 laps here tonight, folks. I failed to mention that one. 150 kilometers.
35 tough laps.
Parsons on the binders quick there. Kind of got caught off guard from for a second run. He breaks a little early, but this is only benefiting Chris Moses as that gap is now 3 seconds after 3 laps.
Yeah, Chris Moses right now is doing nothing but really just trying to manage the tires and being thankful right now that he's in this position to be able to manage the race a little bit from out front. So he's going to take a little bit of comfort in that, and he hopes actually that Aaron Parsons is going to be stuck behind Ronnie Nunez for some significant portion of time.
Yeah, Parsons needs to tuck under Ronnie here. Got to get a good run on him exiting that final corner. Just not going to be able to get it done there.
Boy, and look, I'm actually on board Matt Taylor, but it looked like Ronnie Nunez did have a bit of a straight line advantage coming down that big long straight.
Certainly did.
So that is not what Aaron Parsons wants to see.
John Houston now putting a lot of pressure on Marty Uren. That is for 8th. Mike Monahan with the great start. He started 14th. He's up to 10th. Running in the top 10. Mike Myers there back at 11th. He's got a little bit of a gap between himself and Kevin Lemansky in 12th. Brian Story in 13th. Zach Hefner. Ooh, Zach taking it off. I was just mentioning Zach up in the points there, but having some difficulties. Douglas gets by, so Guppa now finds himself in the points. Jack Ivey running in 16th in the final points paying position. I think Rolf had some trouble there at the start. He was near the tail end of the field. He's worked his way back up to 17th.
It actually might have been him and Mark that may have had some contact, but for any of these guys that did find themselves back in the field a little bit, and you just have to keep fighting because those positions will change and there will be mistakes made in front. So for Hefner and Feimster and Mark and these guys in back, keep fighting because there is a great opportunity to pick up positions as this race goes on. Umes Gurley actually takes it off hard into 6th.
Yeah, Nunez holding court here. He is not being rattled by Parsons all over the back of him. Well, Taylor, this is a three-way battle here for second. Moses picking up a second per lap on these guys.
Yeah, he really is. But now the train really has formed. So that second place all the way down through 8. None of those guys more than about a second apart. So really all those positions are in direct contest at the moment. Ooh, Zian Jolkor has a big slide and allows Miller a nice run.
And I'm watching Greg Myers here for a second. Myers starting to close in on Mike Monahan. Mike really having a great run here.
Yeah, to get past Greg Myers out up there on track, no easy feat really on a track like this. So you're absolutely right, running low and truly inside the top 10. We saw him actually have pretty good speed at Spa 66, but of course was kind of knocked out there on the first lap, out of contention.
Man, Parsons, this could be his opportunity here. He is all over the back of Ronnie. Ronnie seems to be getting a much better exit out of that final corner than Parsons is able to get on the throttle a lot sooner.
Not helping Aaron's cause there really is the aero wash. You do get a pretty substantial amount out of this 312T, and that is not helping him stay right up tucked underneath that spoiler.
A lot of action out here on track, folks, trying to keep up with it all. Marty Urenda all over Kevin Kirkbride, running in 7th. A lot of pressure here from Kirkbride. Filling into some big shoes to fill for Luis Nieto. Go for him, I would imagine, is just finishing the points here if he can. Traskell checks out.
Yeah, particularly if you're Kirkbride not having, as Miller takes a wide, but Kirkbride not having a lot of familiarity in this series here, only running a couple of events so far on Monday nights. Pressure in front and behind, so you're absolutely right. He's holding up really well.
Big moment there for Marty, hangs on to it. Parsons continues to hound Ronnie here, but yeah, you'll see it here. He's all over the back of Ronnie coming up here through his final 2 corners. He just cannot keep his foot in it the same way Ronnie is. Ooh, he might have a shot here. Little mistake from Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie was able to recover to set up to get a good run off. If you're Aaron Parsons, you got to start thinking about taking some chances, I think.
Ooh, Ronnie. Like he's trying to defend there a little bit, and hated it a little bit to the right there, but
you know, Ronnie may intentionally have set up with that weight disadvantage with some low aerodynamic settings to give himself that straight line advantage. I mean, it's so difficult to pass here in the twisties. If you give up a little extra speed, who cares if it holds your position, you know? And I think we may be seeing just that here because Aaron Parsons really is losing quite a bit of time now in the twisties.
The gap between Moses and Nunez now is 7 seconds. And a really tight battle here for second between Nunez, Parsons, and Matt Taylor. Not too far back, you got Joe LaCour, Kevin Miller, and Kevin Kirkbride all having a nice battle here. Kirkbride is now closed the gap significantly up on Kevin Miller. Very impressive run here for Kevin Miller, that is. And Kirkbride can do it, but Miller starting, I believe, outside the top 10 here.
Yeah, well,
early.
Yeah, as the fortunes kind of change out on track and these drivers make a small mistake or two, those advantage switch, but it's still 9th place, able to even see all the way up there to that 2nd place of Ronnie Nunez in the distance, so all those positions still very close. You're right about that.
Getting a couple wheels off there. Down the straight, banging off the rev limiter.
Well, Parsons now in that 3rd place, the most veterans of veterans. He has taken Ronnie's measure, and he knows what areas that he might be able to attack now, and where he may have to push the issue a little bit if he has to. And I think he may employ that tactic here in the next couple laps.
He has no. I mean, he's not going to put themselves in a bad spot, obviously, but.
Well, there's a difference between being overly aggressive and being, and just being aggressive. And sometimes if you got to force the issue a little bit in a spot, you got to do it. But Ronnie Nunez now, it's apparent he is pushing really hard to hold on to that position. I got to tell you. He has Aaron Parsons makes a mistake now.
Yeah. Covers nicely.
Wasn't
a lot worse.
I tell you, Ronnie's getting to the point now where I think he's starting to maybe think about trying to hold on to this position just a little too hard. You don't want to make a huge mistake, and as a championship leader with a lot of points, you can afford to give up some spots to make sure you're safe out there.
Miller and Kirkbride. Kirkbride might have had a look there on the inside. Ooh, Taylor! What happened to Taylor there, Brad? I just caught the tail end of it.
I think it was, I'm not sure because I was looking away at the moment, but it was a braking mistake of some point, either by Aaron or Taylor. And, it was a big one if you're PMR.
Ooh, yeah, and Parsons as well. Is that gave Nunez a little bit of breathing room here. So that moves Joe LaCour up to 4th. Kevin Miller now up to 5th. Taylor shuffles all the way back to 8th.
Boy, and that's a tough spot to be. We've seen just how difficult it is to pass on this circuit. Even if you got better speed, that almost means nothing. So Matt Taylor now in a bit of trouble.
That is huge, though, for the team championship now for Kirkbride to jump up to 6th and Nunez running in 2nd.
You bet.
A little further back here, we got Mike Monahan running in 10th. Rick Myers not too far off there in 11th. Ryan Story up in the points in 12th. Kevin Lemansky running in 13th. His teammate Ryan Jones in 14th. Jack Ivey has picked up a spot, actually. He's done around Dub Douglas running in 15th. Dub Douglas in the final points paying position, but Sam Rolfe is coming on strong here, running in 17th. And I'm not sure what happened to John Watson there, Brad, but he is 7 laps down.
Oh, I did not see that. Well, he must have had some catastrophic damage there or something. And for our Mark DeGraw fans, don't give up hope. Running into 22nd place, but gaining time on his competitors out front.
Baldwin in 19th. Jake Feimster running in 20th. Hefner, who was running pretty well, they had a big mistake, shuffle him back to 21st. Mark DeGraw, he's gotten serviced and repaired here.
Ooh, Kirkbride took it off.
Oh my God.
Taylor gets by, and so does Houston.
So, just like that, how quickly things can change in the point scenarios here for the team championship. It's tide now shifts into PMR's favor.
Boy, and that is how quickly it happens. And now if you're Kirkbride, you just have to be thinking the same thing. Well, now, okay. Bit of a mistake here, oops, but you know what, that can happen to any one of the guys in front of them. So you just got to keep your head down and stay positive with the deal, because things are nowhere near settled on this track, and anybody can almost finish anywhere on a track like this.
So Chris Moses currently with the fast lap on the race, 37 flat. The second quickest guy is actually Ronnie Nunez, who just set his fastest lap last time by 38 flat. So what the qualifying, second off Moses' pace. No, I apologize, not the second fastest lap. Taylor, 37.6. But regardless, great lap for Nunez, as Kirkbride is really all over the tail end of John Houston here. Had a bit of a moment going up the hill.
Had that quick off and on, but now if you're John Houston, it's time to return the favor here. Different teammates, same teams. Oh, but John Houston doesn't make that mistake.
Ooh, some contact! Ooh, contact between Houston and Kirkbride. I'm not too sure what Houston was thinking there. I think looked like Kirkbride had a run on him there, and Houston drifted into him.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but nonetheless, a big disappointment there now for Kevin Kirkbride. Okay, so it's John.
Rejoins in 15th.
Houston now in pits.
Yep, so Houston comes in. So, ooh, pit lane is actually quite busy here as Taylor is in. Parsons is in and out. Myers, Story. So all these guys, looks like they're on the softs. I don't think we failed to check that, Brad, I believe. So Taylor comes out. Side by side now with Ken Baldwin, and he's going to hang on to that spot.
Yeah, it's softs for the entire field. Ooh, as Ian Gillicourt now makes a mistake. So I think we're going to see 2 stops from the majority of drivers here in this event.
So working lap 12 of a scheduled 35. Let's check the timing here. See if Moses is coming. Has yet to pit, and in he comes. Very tricky pit lane here. Don't want to carry too much speed, or you can pay a visit to that inside wall there very easily. So Moses is in. Nunez is going to stay out. We've seen this from Nunez in the past. He really likes to stretch out his stints here and make his tires work. He's on the soft side, take it, right, Brad? So Moses is away. He's going to come out.
Yeah, well,
he's going to come out just ahead of Mike Monahan, who's hit the pit. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I know Nunez has been turning pretty decent laps, but I mean, it did appear that Aaron Parsons had better speed than Ronnie Nunez, and Aaron Parsons did come in a little early, so I think he really is going to gain some time on track, and Ronnie Nunez, I don't think, should take it too deep here. could end up biting him if Aaron Parsons does get past here on some of these pit stop rotations.
Nunez still running in the 38s here. Consistently in the 38s. So hasn't lost much pace overall. As Kirkbride has left, Kefner's out as well. Looking back at Mark DeGraaf. I know he had that incident early on, had to come in for service, and looks like he's coming back in. Ooh, as he does just that. Makes contact with that inside wall, but Mark coming in. But I was going to say, I'm not sure if he elected to fill it up with fuel and try and run along here and pick up some spots on track, but not the case as he comes in with the rest of the field. As Nunez is in. Joe LaCour staying up.
Yeah, I think that's a good call if you're Ronnie Nunez. You don't want to give up too much time out on track, which he would have been doing.
Moses is going to take that spot away from Nunez. Parsons may have a run here on Ronnie. Nope. Parsons sets his personal best lap of the race, 37 and change. That gap between Nunez and Parsons, a little over a second between those two guys.
Yeah, it's closed up a little bit from where they were, you know, when those pit stops started. After Aaron Parsons, of course, had that mistake, and he picked up a little bit of damage. So it slipped a couple, 3 seconds off of Ronnie Nunez, but in better shape now. We'll see if he can close that gap back down.
Board here with Kevin Miller, nice little tussle these guys got going on. Kevin Miller and Marty Uren. This is for 8. Looks like Moses has actually picked up some time on Ronnie and Parsons after the stops, a couple seconds.
Yeah, if you're Chris Moses, you're pretty happy, but there are still, I mean, there's quite a few cars out on track who've had a few retirements, but it's still relatively busy out there, so Moses still going to have a little bit of consternation, I think, with some lap traffic before too long.
Well, here we go again, Brad, as Parsons is now closed up mightily on Nunez. Moses now resets fast lap of the race with the 36.5. Parsons still, Joe LaCour still out on track as yet to pit.
Well, this is for the virtual second place of the race here, Ronnie Nunez and Aaron Parsons, right? Though they don't run that way on track. Looks like Joe LaCour is actually going to go for the one-stopper, interestingly enough, and a few others on the soft tires. But, yeah, once again, it's the same same tune as last time. Got to get past them as quickly as you can if you're Aaron Parsons.
Kevin Lemansky may be on that same strategy as well, as he is running in fourth. He is yet to stop. Mike Monahan is also yet to stop.
Yeah. So those 3 guys, and I don't think Kevin Lemansky is going to make it too easy on these fellas here. So he's got Kevin Lemansky's got another 3 laps out there if he wants to make it to halfway.
This could work out well, actually, for Parsons.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Al. Yeah, it could. Going to be some tense moments, though, if Kevin Lemansky does not just let him pass, being off sequence.
Ooh, Parsons may have a run here on Ronnie going into the chicane, side by side. Ronnie defending on the inside. Ooh, Lemansky lets, he didn't let him by, actually. I think he made a mistake. The opposite has happened here from Parsons.
Yeah, boy, Ronnie Nunez took it, was really defending that position by taking it way deep into that braking zone, but it sure paid off.
Well, Lemansky having a look on the inside of Parsons going into 1, and Lemansky going to take that spot back.
Yeah, there's nothing Aaron Parsons can do there. He cannot pick up damage. So he is cursing under his breath right now. I guarantee it, man. But there's nothing for it. Just have to stay patient.
Jones also has yet to pit, running in 7th. Marty Uren starting to close up on him. Look for the guys up front, maybe perhaps pit lap 17 or 18.
Yeah, 17 or 18.
Marty goes on the inside of Brian Jones and gets that pass made. Nice job, Marty.
Well, that is a nice pickup. Marty Uren has picked up some solid positions. All of them have been out there on track as well. So from his starting position has made a nice move up the field.
Ooh, as it looks like Kevin Miller makes a mistake, takes it wide. It's allowed Taylor to get past. I'm not sure what happened to Miller. He was tucked up behind Marty Uren and is falling back down to 9th. Really all over the back of Lemansky.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate here. You know, a lot of times being off sequence, guys will not interfere with those virtual positions on track. It's really been kind of a bad deal, especially if something like that happens. Yeah,
contact there between Lemansky and Parsons. So
yeah, that's really not good. I mean, if you have a stop yet to make, you really should not be interfering that harshly with the guys, you know, technically positions ahead of you.
Ooh, Joe LaCour makes a mistake. He's got Moses starting to reel him in here. Joe LaCour's tires certainly have gone off on him at this point. Gonna soldier on here, trying to make it in this lap, I imagine. We're watching coverage here of North American Grand Prix Monday Night Open Wheel Championship in the Ferrari 312s.
Back from the break, feeling good. Well, one of us is feeling good.
So, yep, Joe LaCour is going to come in, go up and take it the rest of the way. Moses takes over the lead, so Nunez now. Ooh, Mike Monahan also has yet to pit, running in actually 2nd now, but for a brief moment as Ronnie Nunez takes over 2nd spot for Monahan. So Lemansky has come in. Parsons is still out there on track. He is now separated by 8 seconds. Nunez and Parsons.
You know, as I look at it a little bit more, actually some of these guys on the one stop, they actually could have a chance to advance positions here, depending on their lap times. Lemansky actually...
Miller, he kept it off the wall. Kevin Miller was tucked up behind Brian Jones. Gave a little too much throttle there on exit and threw it into the fence, but he saved it miraculously.
Yeah, as I was saying, actually the one-stop strategy could pay some dividends tonight for these guys. If they can manage to keep their second half lap pace up, Lemansky and Monahan and some of these other guys, they could potentially move into some of the forward positions here if they play their cards right.
So Joe LaCour has made a stop. It looks like he's lost some ground. Comes out in 9th.
Houston as well.
Behind Kevin Miller. The only guy who has yet to pit thus far, I believe, is Jones and Monahan.
Yeah.
Monahan is finally going to come into the pit, so this is going to be interesting. Monahan's been running very cleanly here, so let's see where it comes out after this stop. Most of these guys out on track still have to make another stop.
He's going to cycle back quite a ways, but you know, it's not going to be too much longer before we see those second stops. by the two-stop guys, right? They stopped on lap 12. Well, it's going to be about 24, so just in another 4, 5, 6 laps.
Monahan is away. Jones has finally come in. Douglas now up to 12th, so Mike Monahan's going to come out. Hey, you got to hand it to Jake Feinster up to 12th. Monahan comes out ahead of his teammate. Jake running in 12th after serving a no-qual and a drive-through. Haven't talked too much about him, but one heck of a race together for himself here. Running in the points.
Boy, that's a good catch, Al, and you know what? His lap times have been pretty good. Ran a couple in the 39s, but by and large running very solidly and consistently in the 40s. Yeah.
Monahan, his lap times were consistently in the 39s. Towards the front here, Matt Taylor has worked his way up now to 5th. Trying to close in on Marty, who's having a solid run there, up in 4th. Jack Ivey now putting the heat on Jake Feinster for 12th.
Well, the tail's really going to be told here in about another 4 laps, and the rest of these guys complete their stops, and then we're really going to know who's running where, and it's going to be a final 12-lap dash there for the prize.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Jack and how he gets around in these cars. They really do suit him. And what happened? I was gonna say they really do suit his style. Does quite well in these historic.
Yeah, we saw it last year too.
Yeah. Jake has dove into the pits, so he is. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so Jake has come into the pits, so Jack has now taken over the 12th spot.
Boy, there's some good fights going on for those positions too. It's hard with all the action we've had up front to get to all of them, but plenty of action going on there toward the back.
Watch Joe LaCour here trying to reel in Kevin Miller. That is for the 6th position. Greg Myers now putting the heat on John Houston. That's for 8th. Just want to mention anybody out there interested in racing with us. It's Monday nights, obviously, and Thursday nights in the GT cars. Head on over to NorthAmericanGT.com. Let us know. And we'll get you in Thursdays. I gotta be honest, pretty tight on Thursday nights, but tracks where we can squeeze some extra drivers in there, we'll do our best to get you going. So just let us know.
And just remember, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Oh, Greg! Oh, Greg! Bit of a mistake there, but. Lose too much. Could have been a lot worse.
Boy, and looking at that scoring pylon, it's Brian Story now who has slipped into the top 10. Now, he's surely made at least one stop, right?
Let's just take a look. Yeah, he's got a stop in the book, so came in at lap 12, so it looks like he's on a 2-stopper, Brad. Joe LaCour here running in 7th. Miller starting to check out here on Joe LaCour. Ooh.
Yeah, Miller's looked like he's had
inside curve. Go ahead.
Yeah, he is. Miller's looked like he's had good speed, but frankly, it's kind of been second-tier speed compared to those top 5 guys. He just has not quite been able to make inroads into those guys, but otherwise he's been looking extremely sharp here tonight. Ooh, on that curbing a little bit. It's not going to work out.
Jack now on a charge. He's starting to reel in Mike Monahan for 11th. Jack getting it done here. Let's see, Myers.
Yeah, Monahan was on that one stop. So again, I think Ivy's on the two-stopper, right? So Ivy's going to give up that ground if he's on that two-stopper, and likewise with everybody else. That's why we still have to wait a couple laps here. We're going to see these positions shake up all of a sudden here in a couple laps again, and you know, the next chapter will be written.
And Jack just sets his personal best race lap in the 38s. That's Nunez territory.
Yeah, he's smelling blood. That is an impressive time, Al, no question.
He really is pushing. Keep an eye on Jack here. Further up, Parsons now, as Marty Uren has moved into third, so it looks like Parsons has made a mistake. Ooh, makes another one right there. What a coup this would be for Marty.
Boy, it has just
solid performance here for Marty.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, to win one of these championships, you have to be very good. You also do have to get a lot of luck, and luck has not been in Aaron Parsons' favor here tonight at all. So, yeah, you got to have the speed, but you also have to have the luck. And Uren's going to push, but Parsons is going to push. But look who's coming up behind now, Matt Taylor.
Yeah, just
looking to steal some more. Few more points.
Ooh, Parsons. Oh, got him on these. He might have taken a little bit of damage there. Well, he had that contact with Lemansky. I wonder if that's affecting his overall performance.
That might be.
Looks like he's struggling a little bit as Taylor now really closing up on Parsons. The pit window's about to open here for these two-stop guys. See him come in the next lap or two. Now Taylor looking on the inside of Parsons, and Taylor gets the pass made. So yeah, Parsons is certainly struggling with that car. I'm not sure what happened to Walker, but I just think he's in watching. So I'm disconnected qualifying, so I'm not sure what happened to him. That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, especially in regards to that competition index.
Marty in the pits. Parsons dives into the pits as well.
Well, here we go. Now the final order is going to shake out here, and the race will really be on for that last 12-lap sprint. The guys that have stuck it out here on that one stop will pick up positions, but they are going to be under some duress to the guys with some fresh tires.
Marty is away. Ooh, Parsons. Long stop. Ooh, trouble getting it into the gear there, exiting the pits. Marty with a great stop.
Whew, Aaron Parsons out of sorts. We just don't see this.
So Moses has pitted. Nunez takes over the lead. Taylor has to come in yet again. Well, a little further back, Jack Ivey now is really all over the back of Monahan. Jack is in the zone. Coffee in one hand, a butt in the mouth. Somehow manages to change gears all at the same time. Oh, he's old school.
Well, he's working. He's probably working that 8-shifter too. So yeah, driving, got the heater going, and the coffee. Man, he is busy in the cockpit.
Maybe must really love tracks like Monza where you can really kick back and take a few drags. Ooh, someone had it off here. It looks like that might have been, yeah, it was Brian Story. Story gives up a couple spots.
Yeah,
oh, he's done. Ooh, he might have blown the tranny on that thing.
he's having a good run himself, Brian Story.
Ooh,
oh,
Taylor comes out side by side with Marty, and Taylor takes over that spot from Marty.
Wow. So now, wait a minute. Did we see, how did Miller get past
Parsons has a really long stop.
Miller's stop.
Great stop from Matt Taylor as he comes out side by side with Marty and takes that position away. So these guys are set to go to the end of the race. Joe LaCour is good to go till the end of the race, so you got to keep an eye on that. You got about 20 seconds separating Joe LaCour and Taylor and Marty, so it's have to see if that time shrinks at all. And what is going on here? Nunez coasting in the pits. Out of fuel.
Oh!
He's out of fuel.
Wow.
But he gets into his box here. Unbelievable. Ran it dry. Coasted into the pits here. Joe LaCour's going to move up to second. Okay, Nunez is away. Marty and Taylor now get past. So I gotta wonder if Nunez might have ran out of fuel on track and just coasted into the pits. So I think once you make it in the pits without fuel, it's rolling and stalling. Not 100% sure on that, but Miller is all over the back of Nunez here. And Parsons, what a battle here. This is the fifth. Guys all on fresher tires. Ronnie just coming out of the pits.
26, I mean, wow. Well, he made it, but here's some more duress now if you're Ronnie Nunez. Now, he was turning good laps, so if he keeps his head down here and this... Yeah, he's got to try to survive. Yeah. This is what I was talking about. I knew it would be coming back together, and really Parsons now in 7th. He can still see all the way up to 3rd place. So all these guys still battling for the podium. Okay. Still got a copy out?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. All right, excellent.
Meanwhile, the battle for second, Taylor under some pressure here from Marty. Wow, things are really shaping up here. I gotta tell you, very impressive drive here from Kevin Miller. He is not phased at one bit. He's starting to get used to running up front here, and I think he's overcome that initial nerves and whatnot, but he is running solid here.
Agreed. I tell you, still that those guys are fighting up there, but it is not very much track at all.
Taylor so far unable to eat into Joe LaCour's gap Joe LaCour has over him.
That you have to go back to get the Monahan and Jack Ivey there for 8th and 9th. Those guys are also running extremely strong. And Jack Ivey continues to look like a driver possessed.
stops. Ivy running in 9th, all over the back of Monahan. What a great result this would be for Jack. Actually, both of these guys, Monahan and Jack. Oh, Jack into the pits. Nunez not able to really pull away from Miller and Parsons. I think he might be able to. Just an incredible fight here. Brad, I don't know if you're around. I think you're having some mic issues.
Oh, Ivy into the pits.
Yeah. It sounds like
okay, well that's unfortunate. Hello? Check?
Yeah, I got you, Brad. I think you're lagging out a little bit on comms.
Lagging on comms. Roger that. We'll check into it.
All right. So meanwhile, this tussle here for 5th continues. We got about 6 laps to go in this race. Joe LaCour on a 1 stop. He's got quite the cushion over Matt Taylor in 3rd. So, no doubt, an impressive run for Joe LaCour so far. Those times make shrink here near the end, but as those tires start to go. But I'll tell you what, if he can hang on to the 2nd spot, it'll be incredible finish for Joe LaCour.
I think it'd be way more than he would have expected. So Parsons actually did slip by Kevin Miller there into turn 1. So Aaron Parsons.
Miller drops back to 7th. Kevin Lemansky and Greg Myers. These guys duking it out now. Greg Myers battling back up 10th. So Jack Ivy has rejoined the race in 13th. So he should be good to go. He's got Jake Feinster all over his tailpipe.
To the 6th position now, and once again behind Ronnie Nunez. All right, the way he was running, you can't imagine it's going to be too much longer before Jack Ivy does pull that gap. Oh, 5/10 lap.
Myers on the inside of Lemansky, and looks like Greg has gotten the pass made going into the chicane. Ooh, nice job by Greg. So Greg moves up to 10th. Gap between Joe LaCour and Taylor starting to drop. Nunez now under pressure from Parsons yet again. Now in the 5th position is Nunez. Parsons in 6th.
Run 30 already pretty tense laps, but especially for that 3rd through 6th place, boy, tension's going to ramp up.
And there was action all over the place here on track. It's hard to
get Aaron Parsons, you have to be thinking, hey, look, if I had been able to slot into that 2nd spot on the start. Yeah, Ping looks okay for now, Al. I don't know what the deal is. Might be on the little lag issue, but I'm sorry about that.
That's the problem. Red running in 4th. He has dropped off Taylor now. Taylor with a 4-second cushion over Marty in 3rd. Chuck Carter now all over the back of Gup Douglas. This is for 15. Ooh, I wonder if there's something happened there between Gup and Chuck. Gup lets Chuck pass. So
nice run here.
In the final points paying position.
I mean, the guy has run what, 3 Soto Corsa races thereabouts. So finishing the points not too shabby.
No, not at all. It's great to see Cup on track. Hey, Mark
yeah.
He just set his best lap of the race with a 38.5.
He's been fighting. Yeah.
A lap down, but he figured out something that last time by. Couple spots out of the points. Been a little ways up on track. Mark. Chris Moses now at the start lap 32, leading this one. He's got a 19-second lead over Joe LaCour in second place. And
yeah, haven't hardly talked about the guy at all, have we?
No, we haven't. We haven't really checked up on him all that much, but we're going to get past Chuck Carter here. Chuck the lap down. Nunez now starting to close the gap up on Marty Uren. Things aren't over yet, Brad, as Parsons and Ronnie starting to reel in Marty here close to the end of this race.
No, I had a feeling that we were going to see these positions battle by the end, and we are seeing that. Again, the smallest of mistakes, and your competition goes by in a flash.
I'm going with Ronnie.
You know, if you're Ronnie Nunez, I mean, maybe if you do happen to finish here in 5th or something like that, maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he was staring like an extra boat anchor, you know, duct taped to his car or something, with that high place finish he was looking at before. So it could be a blessing in disguise running out of fuel. Maybe able to drop a little bit of weight going into the next event.
Yeah, I know, like we've talked in the past, guys will play the weight game, but I don't think that's in Ronnie's blood. He's going to try and finish as high up as he can in the race. I mean, if he finishes where he is now, he's going to lose a little bit of weight. 10 kilograms, but if he takes that spot away from Marty, he's not going to lose anything. Stays at 50.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
They're doing a good job so far. Keeping it clean here. Holding on to this 4th place. Gap now 15 seconds between Joe LaCour and Taylor. That could shrink quite a bit here near these closing laps as Joe LaCour's tires start to go.
Yeah, you're watching that gap. The gap I'm watching actually is for 8th place, Monahan to Houston. It's Monahan here who has only made that single stop, and it's Houston on the double stop. But he's, wait a minute, John Houston coming into the pits again? What?
Yeah, he is in.
Disaster!
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Houston there, but he is in again for service, so maybe he made a mistake in his first stop. So that is not good for Houston. Ivy. Might be good for Ivy, however. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, Houston's away. So Houston lost a couple spots, it looks like there. Marty's holding firm here. He's not giving up really that much time these last few laps to Ronnie. Lap is still about a second and change.
Yeah, only another lap to play, so the onus is definitely on Nunez to get up there and put some pressure on. But Marty might have just turned that virtual mirror off. Just decided to keep the old focus straight ahead there, and Aaron Parsons kind of in the same boat. Hasn't been able to gain and put a whole lot of heat on Ronnie Nunez here the last couple laps, has he?
No, not too much. Meanwhile, Greg Myers under pressure here from Kevin Lemansky near the end of this one. Talk about great way to return from a two-week break here. Exciting battle, exciting race overall, all throughout the field. Tough keeping track of these guys.
Yeah, it sure has been, and what a great opening stint we had. Good racing all the way throughout. Chris Moses, more or less as we kind of expected, as I think he really did have a little extra something figured out for this track, this car combination, as well as obviously running very good lines. I mean, Chris Moses has won about as many championships around here as can be won, so he is going to take advantage when he has the pace.
Started his final lap.
Ooh, Lemansky throws it off. Ouch. Jones could actually get a good run here.
His teammate. He is really close now. He's a veteran here. He'll keep it together. Got him covered here going into turn one. It's going to take a miracle for Ronnie to get around him here.
Yeah, especially if we suspect that Nunez is running the low aerodynamics for that extra straight line speed. Of course, could be helpful off the last corner if you can stay close.
Yeah. Ooh. Alright, a couple little bobbles there really opened the door for Ronnie. And Ron continues to set personal best here. What could have been?
Yeah, no doubt. As you say, just a couple positions out of the points there for DeGrom, but going to fall a little short here tonight. It's a great opening run for him, though.
Meanwhile, it's Chris Moses through the final chicane for the last time. 2 corners to go. It'll be Chris Moses taking the win here at Zandvoort in impressive fashion. And you gotta hand it to Ian Joe LaCour.
Yeah.
He's gonna come around and take second. Yeah, 15 cars so on the lead lap. Very impressive, especially at this place. Yeah, with the pace Moses was showing. Taylor's gonna come around in third. See what Marty can do here. Is he going to hold on to this 4th place? Looks like he will. Marty 4th. Nunez going to drop some weight, finishing here in 5th. Parsons to 6th. Kevin Miller could be the run of the night in 7th. Mike Monahan. This has got to be Mike's best finish. Yeah, in 8th.
Best finish this season for sure. Yeah.
Mike takes 8th. Greg Myers going to finish in 9th. And Mark DeGraw in the points here. Gub Douglas checked out. Nancy takes 10th. Jones 11th. Houston 12th. Close finish there. Jack Ivy's going to finish here in 13th. Jake Feimster in 14th. That's it. DeGraw finishes 15th. Chuck Carter in 16th. Both those guys a lap down. See if we can bring in our winner here tonight. Chris Moses, you copy?
Yes, sir. NAGP broadcast guy.
Very impressive showing here tonight, Chris. From qualifying all the way through the race. I mean, you had the field covered there. Parsons, the only other guy to dip into the 35s there in qualifying right on his last attempt, but still nearly over half a second up on him. And then you were picking up a second per lap there in the opening stint there. Parsons got stuck behind Ronnie, could not at all get by him, and you just checked out, and it was lights out from there.
Yeah, that was a perfect scenario with Ezra getting stuck behind Ronnie with all that ballast he had. So I kind of lucked out there. I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, it was about as good an opening stint as you could have hoped. That's for sure. And obviously, at pace on the field, you know, I speculated, Chris, that you might have found a little something in the setup. You're obviously driving very good lines, and we all need a little luck if we expect to win a championship or win a race, right? But you know, did you happen to come up with a little something extra in the setup that really helped you out in that race, or do you think you're just that good tonight?
Not to be braggadocious, whatever, but this seems to be my fastest track. I'm always the fastest guy here when we come to this track, and I've been snake bit. Technical issues or something happen every race, and it just suits my driving style and the way I set up the car because it's kind of a drifting setup. So I figured I had most of the guys covered going in. Wish I'd, you know, it'd be a good track for ballast too. You can go pretty quick here with a lot of weight because you really don't have to slow down all that much. So, you know, I thank goodness I'm not. I lost the snake bit bug here. I finally wanted to win here at this track, so it felt pretty doggone good.
Yeah, well, you certainly had the field covered. I mean, compared to the, I mean, did it come down to setup, or was it just the way you drove the track, or? I mean, because it seemed like you guys were just you in particular were just lights out.
Yeah, you know what? This sounds stupid to say, but I kind of missed the setup from a total balance standpoint. I set the cars very fast on heavy tanks, and I don't know if you were watching me towards any of the stints or watching the lap times, but I was bad loose by the last two, three laps of each run, and I was just holding on. But I made no mistake, so I had that gap. I didn't have to worry about it. Generally with these cars, if you make them really fast on full tanks, on heavy tanks, they're going to be really loose at the end of the stint, and that's exactly what happened with me. I thought it wouldn't go that bad, but it was a fight.
Well, it might have been a semi-boring race for you, but the rest of the field, it was pretty remarkable how close they were. So it was very entertaining. So we're going to be at Silverstone 67, the Kunos version. Next week. It's going to be a new track for everybody. What do you expect there?
Weather forecasts are calling for heavy clouds. It's going to be really dark there, I think, and cold. And there's one turn, I think it's Stowe at the bottom of the hill, or is that down at the end, that Hanger Straight? If you run wide there's some hard objects to hit, so it's going to be dangerous. We'll see how everyone gets along, but great track layout. I can't wait to actually race it. So I'm looking forward to next.
Well, congratulations on a great run tonight, Chris, and good luck next week at Silverstone.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Brett.
All right, Brad. Well, man, what a great race tonight. It was I mean, I expected a close run, but both stints were pretty intense for all the way up and down the field.
Yeah, they really were. So we had great action on track, and we had great action in terms of our points classification as well. Ronnie Nunez will give some up, probably retain that lead advantage in the Drivers' Championship going into next week. The Monty Python's Racing, they're going to give up some points as well. They may lose that spot to Precision Motor Racing. In fact, I think that they will. So Chris Moses and Matt Taylor will go back out on top in that team classification. And oh boy, next week we're just starting the second half of the season next week. So Silverstone is the final push here for those guys that expect to come home with those trophies.
Well, that's going to be it for us tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to be back live Thursday night from Spa for the feature race there, 2 hours at Spa, so 400 kilometers, so it's going to be a good run. So hopefully you can join Marty Uren and John Watson for that one. If not, we'll be back next Monday night, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, for round number 7 from Silverstone 67. So it's going to be a new track. The new Kunos released not too long ago, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast tonight, and see y'all next week. Have a good night. Thanks, Brett.